Yeah. Hi, this is Tim. He is in charge of the Amazon warehouses in Germany. Now he wants to upgrade the surveillance systems at his warehouses all around Germany. Now, which surveillance system does he use? Does he use the match checks, sensor cams, the Bosch IoT platform, NVIDIA platform, robots plus personal drones? This is a very complex question because there's a lot of question about scalability, implementation efforts, after sale service, the brand image, and much more. Now, this gets all the more complicated when the number of stakeholders increase, like developers, HR, PR, and finance. Look at the amount of data points that we need to consider because most of these questions are objective and not subjective, and it depends from person to person. So, for instance, in the usual case, what he would do is he would send around Excel sheets to everyone, and then he would collect those Excel sheets back by mail, and then he would try to bring them back into a single PowerPoint presentation and miss out on a lot of data what exactly is to be done. Now, over here, what we see is that when they come for the meetings after this, the innovation meetings will be inefficient, cumbersome, and complex. Now, we have a solution for this. We feel that a data oriented platform to add, rate, and analyze ideas for efficient decision making. It's very easy. All you need to do is, as a manager, you need to list your ideas, all the different solutions, and give a brief description. Invite your teammates, all the stakeholders inside. Each of them would get into the website and do their analysis and rate the entire all the ideas in the system. Now, this is based on research-based rating system, which is done by senior economists and research professors around the world. Once this is done, they can visualize and analyze the data, what each user says about each and every commodity, each solution, each um, data point. Once this is done, our system also provides a disparity analyzer. Like for instance, the developer, we would give look at the data and we would say like the developer and claims that the integration effort is high compared to rest of the team, or 2 out of 3 HR associates think that the workers will be irritated by the robotic surveillance systems. So this we would analyze the data in addition to giving them the opportunity to analyze the data. We ourselves would analyze the data and give them a talking point. So once you have this, you have a talking point and directions for the meeting is already available. So you can come for the meeting and straight away you know what exactly are the points that people have to discuss and where exactly are we missing out or in which direction should the meeting go. So it is an optimized meeting that we have, especially in this corona time when it's remote meetings and stuff. This is a very important point. Now, our target customers would be the following: EIT master courses. Even during my courses in EIT Digital Masters, we were asked to send around these Excel sheets. And then we had to look at the complex formulas and try to find out, and then had to send all these to one person. And then he has to try to merge all this data into one. It is all the more important in hackathons because you only have a limited amount of time, and we have around 100 hackathons plus in Germany alone every year. Then we got this idea from MNCs, companies that we work for, that we interned for. Even in those companies, they have these Excel sheet which goes around, and then they come back, and then they have to put it into a presentation, and then discuss this for hours to get to a conclusion, which is not even optimized. Sometimes personal feelings get into being. Sometimes, depending on the authority of the person, all these things could change. The roadmap that we are doing is now we had this idea since March in 2020. Now we have finished with the design, backend development, and the front end development is almost done. We will have the prototype by August, and we hope to launch the project by around September, the beta project. Now, this is my team. We have front end developers, backend developers, and MBA guy who's leading us. Then we got this idea from previous experiences, like even when it comes to technology selection of framework for software developers, we have to go through a lot of shit in our companies to argue and get to select the right framework. And once we do that, it takes years to get out of it. Even another colleague of mine had a similar problem when he was selecting IoT solutions in Bosch connected industry. So this was another case that he had. Then previously during my internship at EIT Digital Masters, I worked for a logistics company. I interned for a logistics company, and they couldn't find. They wanted to find out the target market to go into, whether it was medical, say medical industry, automobile industry, and they also used to send around the same Excel sheets. So we believe that this would be a really good product for the entire. system management system. I think my 5 minutes is up.
Yes, thank you very much. I see you started a timer yourself as well.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot for your presentation. Let's have a look at some questions starting from the jury. I see there's a question from Mike in the chat, so let's start with that.
Yeah, I'm really curious if you think that this set of sort of nearly extinct dinosaurs who are still emailing Excel spreadsheets is I mean, that must be a shrinking market that's disappearing really quickly. Google has had their online solution. Microsoft now is pushing everyone into Office 365, which is online. I really don't see that the sector of emailing spreadsheets around, or even using shared drives and uploading, V1 final, etc. It exists. I like the idea of the analysis at the back, but I don't see the front use case of the emailing of Excel spreadsheets.
Um, Thank you for the question. I was also really amazed that this is how companies work in the last 3 years that I and my colleagues had experiences with. I'm telling from my previous experiences at Bosch and Siemens, Fraunhofer, and at startups. So what it also does is not just it gives you a disparity analyzer as which looks into the data. I don't see any other platform which does this already in. And in addition to this, one of the most important thing over here is that these kind of parameters which is taken into consideration is not something that the user inputs or the manager inputs. He just has to select what all are important for him. For instance, this guy says deployment, technology, values, and organization is important, and then it is based on researched based it is based on research that the rating system and the exact question and evaluation is done. So it is not just a trivial um, thing that is done. So it's based on some research standards. So I don't know. I don't see any other platform which has all these together combined.
Right. So I think maybe in the future try and emphasize more about this,
Yeah,
the second half of the benefit, rather than the removing the emailing thing.
yeah, sure. Thank you.
I think you'll get a better response.
Yeah.
Thank you for that first question. Are there any other questions from the jury?
Yeah, I had one. I was looking for the technology that you use. Are you using AI or machine learning for the analyzing part of it?
Yeah, this actually doesn't need much of machine learning, but we are using machine learning just for the disparity checker, disparity analyzer. That's the only part, but the rest of the data is already, you don't really need machine learning for this. The thing
Mm-hmm.
I found is that during my courses in my master level courses, we had entrepreneurship courses in EIT Digital Masters. In all these courses, what they used to do was one part of the course was to fill out these Excel sheets and make a each of the student had to fill these things and send it to the group leader who would merge all these data. And I even for the entrepreneurship thesis, we had to do the exact same thing. We had to do it in our university as well as in the company
Mm-hmm.
that we interned in. So that's when we thought I realized that this is a really cumbersome activity. And then I found out that this was based on we there was no other platform with research-based analysis and a platform to integrate together.
Okay. And have you talked to EIT Digital Academy if you can try the master school or summer school as a use case, for example?
We had sent an email to this EIT Digital Masters around 3 months back. We haven't got any response back. Um,
Okay.
so we thought of this pitch as a possibility where we could actually get your attention.
Okay, you can send me an email. I can see if I can get in touch with the summer school organizer if he would be interested or not to do a test case if you want.
Okay, that would be great. Thanks a lot.
There's no promise. It's
Yeah,
just
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Thanks a lot for that question, Karin. Let's take one question from the audience as well. So I'm going to look at Jose Carlos, our voice from the audience.
Yeah, so we have a question here that says, how is this solution different from sending a doodle or any kind of online survey to the corresponding audience and then analyze the results of that survey?
So like I said in the previous case, the when the manager has to choose, he has to choose a different kind of evaluation parameters. These are based on a research based rating system which is the followed. So I don't see any doodle that has that already. So in addition to this, it has an orientation towards meetings after this. So once you have these kind of data already present, you just need to download, click a button, and you have these already present for your PowerPoint presentations. Another thing is about the disparity analyzer. This is also not present in any of these doodles uh, that are already present now.
Okay, thank you very much for answering all the questions. Also, thank you for the presentation.